You clear your inbox at night, and by morning, it is full again. Same bugs, same questions, same people asking for the same thing in slightly different words. You get faster, so the pile grows faster. Work feels sticky, like it clings to you, no matter how hard you scrub. And the weirdest part is this. Your effort never reduces the load. It just proves you can carry more. That is not productivity. That is work that reproduces. Moving to slide 2. Work reproduces when the inputs are fuzzy and the steps are manual. If a request can arrive as a Slack message, an email, a meeting comment, or a ticket with half the fields blank, you are guaranteed churn. People fill in the gaps differently, so outcomes vary. Then exceptions pile up, and soon the exception becomes the default way the job gets done. Notice the pattern. Decisions get remade weekly because the reasoning never gets captured in one place. Handoffs multiply tiny errors because each person has to interpret what the last person meant. And every interpretation creates new follow-up questions, more threads, more quick clarifications that are not quick. If you want less work, you do not need faster people. You need fewer interpretations. When the input is clean and the path is stable. Moving to slide 3. The invisible queue is the work you cannot see. It arrives from everywhere, and it never lines up. Priorities shift midstream, so you switch context, lose momentum, and restart. There is no single intake lane, so nothing feels finished because something else is always tapping your shoulder. And the most expensive tasks are hiding in DMs, where they cannot be counted, planned, or improved. What you cannot see will always win. Moving to slide 4. Most recurring work falls into 5 types. First, copy and paste production. The same update, the same blurb, the same spreadsheet, just retyped into a new place. Second, chasing missing information. You are not doing the task, you are hunting the details that should have arrived with it. Third, status reporting theater. Meetings and messages that exist because nobody trusts the system of record. Fourth, reformatting between tools. Export, relabel, re-upload, repeat. Fifth, the same decisions in a new context. You debate the same trade-off because the last decision is buried in a chat or someone's memory. Label the recurrence type when it happens. The label is your clue to what to change, not what to endure. Moving to slide 5. Stop solving symptoms. Speed-ups feel good, but they can lock the disease in place. When you reply instantly to vague requests, you teach people that vagueness works. When you stay late to save a messy handoff, you train the team that messy handoffs are safe. When you fix someone's broken ticket for them, you build dependency, and next time they send it broken again, faster. Instead, make the friction land on the cause. If a request is missing key info, do not guess. Bounce it back with a short checklist of what is required. If work is coming through 5 channels, pick one intake lane and redirect everything there, even if it feels slower for a week. If priorities keep changing, require a single owner to approve swaps, so interruptions have a price. And use strategic silence, not ignoring people, but pausing the reflex to rescue. Gaps show you the process that does not exist. Fix the process once, and you stop paying the same bill forever. Clean inputs are what make any automation, including AI, actually helpful. Moving to slide 6. AI is only as good as what you feed it. So before you prompt anything, lock down clean inputs. Start by defining required fields. If a request can arrive without an owner, due date, priority, audience, or desired output format, it is not a request. It is noise. Write those fields down and make them non-optional. Then standardize request templates. 1 template per request type beats 100 custom prompts. Keep the template short, but specific, with drop-downs where you can. Next, create one source of truth. If product facts live in 5 docs and a Slack thread, the model will remix contradictions. Pick a home, version it, and retire duplicates. Log decisions with rationale. When you approve a response, capture why it was correct. That becomes training data for your team and a reference for future edge cases. Finally, Enforce all of this with automation gates. If required fields are missing, the request cannot move forward. Clean inputs are not busy work. They are how you turn AI from a toy into infrastructure. Moving to slide 7. Turning tasks into SOPs means you stop relying on memory and start relying on repeatability. Begin with the triggering event. What exactly happens that starts the work? A customer email, a bug ticket, a renewal risk alert. List inputs and outputs. Inputs are the fields and links you need. Outputs are the artifacts you produce, like a reply, a Jira update, or a refund decision. Write decision rules briefly. If the user is in plan A, do X. If they are in plan B, do Y. Keep it readable. Capture a few edge case examples, especially the ones that used to create long back and forth. Then set a done definition. Done is not sent. Done is sent, logged, tagged, and linked. When your SOP is this clear, AI can help without guessing, and your team stops arguing about what should happen. Moving to slide 8. Use AI as triage, not as the final judge. You want it to take messy, uneven requests and turn them into clean, routable work. First, have it summarize the request in 2 lines, what the person wants and what success looks like. That alone cuts your reading time. Then make it extract missing required fields. Ask it to output a checklist like owner, deadline, customer tier, system impacted, and any links it could not find. If something is missing, the AI should draft the exact follow-up question, 1 question per missing field. Next, classify the request into recurrence buckets. Is this a known issue, a repeatable workflow, a one-off exception, or a potential new SOP candidate? This is how you see what is worth systematizing. Route it to the correct owner using simple rules. Billing goes here, bugs go there, security always escalates. Finally, suggest the next best action with confidence. When confidence is low, it should recommend escalation, not invent an answer. Triage done well makes drafting easy because the work shows up already shaped and labeled. Moving to slide 9. When you do draft with AI, the goal is consistency, not creativity. Reuse your best responses. Take the top 10 replies your team is proud of and turn them into reusable patterns. Then your drafts start from proven language. Create a tone reference. Spell out what you do and do not sound like, including words you avoid, how direct you are, and how you handle apologies. Insert variables automatically, like customer name, plan, dates, ticket number, and promised timelines. That prevents copy-paste mistakes. Cite sources from your knowledge base. If the draft references a policy, it should include the exact policy title or link so you can verify it fast. And require final human approval for anything customer-facing or policy-related. The AI can draft at speed, but you own the relationship and the risk. On-brand drafting in what makes automation feel trustworthy instead of reckless. Moving to slide 10. Automation only sticks when it is connected to real triggers and protected by guardrails. Tie each trigger to one action. Write clear exceptions. Log every automated decision. Escalate anything low confidence. Then review failures weekly and update the rules. If your automation creates fewer surprises than your manual process, people will actually use it, and you will have time for work that matters more than status updates. Moving to slide 11. Status meetings feel productive because they create motion, but most of the time they are just humans manually syncing information that already exists. Kill them by turning updates into an automatic system. Start with the 3 places work already lives, like your ticketing tool, your repo, and your docs. Have an agent pull the key metrics daily. What shipped, what moved stages, what is aging, and what is blocked. Then have it write a short progress note in a consistent format, with links back to the source so nobody argues about reality. Next, make blockers and risks the center of the update. Not a long narrative. 1 line per blocker, the impact, the owner, and the next action. Then route the message only to people who are actually impacted. If you are not an owner, a dependency, or a decision maker, you do not get pinged. Finally, replace the recurring check-in with 2 triggers, when a blocker appears and when a deadline slips. Everything else is asynchronous, searchable, and audit-friendly. Meetings stop being a crutch, and the loop starts shrinking on its own. Moving to slide 12. If you want to know whether the loop is actually shrinking, track a few signals every week. First, count repeats. How many times did the same question or request show up? Second, measure cycle time before and after you automate, not in theory, in real tickets. Third, count clarifying questions. If intake is solid, that number drops fast. Also watch your exception rate. If automation is creating edge case chaos, you will see more manual overrides, more reopenings, more escalations. Then convert the delta into hours returned monthly, even if it is rough. When you can say, we got back 40 hours without adding headcount, the momentum becomes self-sustaining, and you are ready to break the next loop on purpose. Moving to slide 13. Here's a simple 7-day loop breaker. Day 1. List your top 10 repeats from the last month. Pull them from chat, email, tickets, and meeting notes. Day 2. Bucket them by type, like missing info, unclear priority, approval delays, or handoff confusion. Days 3 and 4. Template the intake fields for the biggest bucket. Make the form force the answers you always end up asking for anyway. Day 5. Build an AI triage draft. It should summarize the request, fill missing details it can infer, suggest the right category, and propose the first response. Day 6 and 7. Automate one end-to-end path. Not 10 partial automations. One full loop that goes from intake to assignment to update. When you do that once, repeats stop feeling normal, and you start designing them out. Moving to slide 14. To make repeats impossible, turn the best answers into defaults. Document decisions once, then link to them instead of re-explaining. Upgrade templates every time an exception appears. Assign one process owner who protects the standard. And protect queue boundaries so random pings do not bypass intake. If this helped, subscribe for more systems you can put to work immediately, and comment with the repeat that wastes the most time in your week. Tools evolve. Principles endure.